Hello everyone, I'm Francis Yuen, the ASG for PSP. It has been more than 100 days since the last election. A lot has taken place, and we thought it's important to update all of you what has gone on, and most important of all, give you a presentation on this latest third section of our restructuring, which is creating the soul of the party. As you all know, we have restructured the party into the ground operations that make sure that we continue to work the ground and continue to win the heart and soul and mind of the people. And it's important, the next election starts now. We don't wait till 3 months before election or 6 months before election to start the preparation. And also at the same time, we have created a strong party HQ that caters to the need of different segments of our electorate. We have the youth wing, we have the women's wing, and we even have a parliamentary secretariat to support our NCMPs so that they can perform well in parliament. And as you can see, they have done well so far. We are also in the process of developing processes to make sure that the party is properly run by proper processes, and at the same time instituted new entities to help us achieve our objectives. Entities like the France Private Limited to help us do merchandising that will help us raise funds for the party. And also the latest is setting up a community fund, a foundation in fact, called the Progress Singapore Community Foundation, PSCF. This will be the source of financing for all our community and charity outreaches that we're going to do. So what is in store now? The next step is to make sure that all of us understand what the party stands for. What is our vision for the country? What is our goal? What is our mission? What are our values? And most important, what do we stand for in terms of beliefs? So I will take the next 15 to 20 minutes to share with you this, because this is absolutely important so that we understand the party's mission, the party's belief, and we will say to the outside world and among ourselves in one voice and operate as one team. So if you look at our vision towards Singapore 100, which is the next 50 years, first, what is our vision? Our vision is structured on our party pledge, and which is also the national pledge. We want to build a strong and united Singapore based on the tenets of our national pledge, but with emphasis on key 7 areas. One, obviously, is an equitable distribution of prosperity. We want prosperity for all, not just for a small group of people. Secondly, we want success to be defined not just by material success. It has to go beyond material. Third, we want a compassionate Singapore. So compassion to be the core value of Singapore. We want a vision where there's freedom of expression and diversity of ideas. And importantly, we also want meritocracy above elitism. A country that needs to be governed with very strong governance principle. And last but not least, we need total belief in our interests of our people is above all else. So then what is the mission for PSP? Our mission is to champion this Singapore vision and to build a platform that will attract talent that come forward to serve selflessly with a heart for the people. We want to be a party that works for the betterment of Singapore and not work for the interest of the party alone. And our goals are two-pronged. Our first goal is to be the party of choice. We do not want to be a default party where people vote us because they are angry with the other side. We want people that vote us because they like us for what we stand for and what we believe in resonate with them. And it's also important for us to make our party credible, refreshing, forward-looking, and enduring. So we want a party that lasts for a long haul, not for a short period when Dr. Tan is around. It is a party that will go beyond Dr. Tan, and it's a party that will thrive on the value, on the processes we operate, and on the way we treat our people. What are our values? A party without values can't operate very effectively. So we have decided there are 7 values that we will treasure, we will uphold, and these values will also be included in our constitution. Firstly, compassion, which has always been the cornerstone of the party. We also believe in integrity. Honesty is important in the way we operate, in the way we lead as party leaders, in the way we present ourselves to the Singaporeans. If we are not honest, we have no integrity, then we have got no moral authority to be a party that one day will rule Singapore. Discipline. Discipline is important because we need discipline to operate. Just because we are parties that comprise of volunteers, it doesn't mean that we can operate on the basis of free for all. There must be discipline in the way we operate so that we can achieve our objective decisively. And we also need to work as a team. Teamwork is absolutely important. There's no point, for instance, in a GRC, for one subgroup to be winning and doing very well, not helping the other subgroup. And in the end, if the other subgroup loses, the whole GRC will lose. So we have to operate from the very, very bottom level as team and all the way to the leadership. Without teamwork, we can't be a united party. Diversity of ideas, diversity of representation in terms of people in the party, and diversity in everything else got to be considered because we are multiracial, multi-religious country, and this must be reflected in the party. And beyond that, obviously, diversity in ideas is also important for us to thrive, to meet the challenges of the future. Respect. We want to build a party based on respect. It's so important to be respectful when we have debates, when we treat one another, when we operate with one another. Without respect, there will be no discipline. Without discipline, there will be no party. And lastly but not least, commitment. We are here to help the party achieve the goal of meeting the needs of the country and the people. And we are here as volunteers. But if you do not volunteer with commitment, we are just probably paying lip service. So in whatever we do, in whatever we believe in, we need to be committed. Committed to the cause, committed to spend time, committed to give our effort, if we can, to help the party to deliver the goals and achieve the missions that we are setting forth to achieve. So what are our beliefs based on our visions and our goals and our values? There are 6 clusters of belief here. And I'll go through each of them in a little bit of detail so that you can understand what the background of these clusters are. Firstly, we have strong governance. We also have clusters that deal with the economic structures, clusters that deal with a better livelihood for Singaporeans, and clusters that deal with holistic education and the environment, as well as being an engaged society which will flourish. What do you mean by good governance? We talk a lot about transparency, independence, accountability. Those are important foundation to our belief in governance. We also believe in no conflict of interest. We also believe in accountability by leaders who lead. If you lead, you've got to be accountable and lead with integrity. And also important enough for country to be able to communicate policies clearly to the people. So around this are beliefs in terms of good governance that we would want to champion for. And better livelihood for Singaporeans. Under this, we believe in things like lower cost of living, making housing, healthcare truly affordable to the people. And public services should not be run for profit and should be run as really public services so that livelihood can be made bearable, can be made pleasant. And as a result of these 3 things, you will end up with more funds available in CPF for retirement. As you all know, your housing, healthcare, cost of living, everything else causes your CPF to be all soaked up in terms of available fund for your retirement. If less of this are being soaked up from your CPF, then you have got more funds for retirement. And this is where we are standing up for, that we want ultimately to generate more fund for retirement through better housing, healthcare, and through making sure public services are really for public and not for profit. And then we work to bring down the cost of living. An engaged society in which ideas flourish. And this is so important. We want free flow, free contest of ideas. We want people to be able to speak up, not in a climate of fear, in a climate of a constructive discussion where all of us hope to put our part to bring forth good ideas to solve problems and help develop policies. We want a consultative environment, and that is where we believe in an engaged society where freedom of speech, responsible speech and expression, as well as free flow of ideas is very important. What about economic transformation and our belief in entrepreneurship? We believe that the government should not be interfering too much with entrepreneurship in a country. They can regulate, they can provide the support, but we must believe that entrepreneurship should come from the businesses. And the small businesses are the backbone of Singapore. We have got more than 200,000 SMEs employing almost 70% of the workforce. This must be the backbone that has got to be nurtured with a strong ecosystem. GLC must work with them to help one another to flourish and be able to propel ourselves beyond Singapore's shore into overseas market so that we can really develop an external wing for our people for employment. And that goes to job, which means that we give opportunity for our core to be developed. And at the same time, we also want foreign talent, real foreign talent, to come in to help fill up gaps, to help to crystallize, cross-fertilize ideas with our locals, to bring our locals to a higher level in terms of proficiency and professionalism. But we don't believe in importing cheap foreign labor to replace our own local core. Neither do we believe having cheap foreign labor to just be used as a means to grow our GDP. And we can see the ills of this policy taking shape, made worse by the COVID pandemic. And obviously we believe in having a decent living wage for our people. Low wage labor must be lifted out of their level, the trap of being trapped in the low wage cycle. We believe in lifting them out. We believe in helping the businesses to achieve this low minimum wage through productivity and through other creative ways to free up costs to finance a better wage for its workers. In education, we believe in a holistic approach in education for our youth. Education is not about just giving our kids skills that is only preparing themselves for work, for industries, for career. It must give them basic skill to be a good person, character building, values that are so important, integrity, community spirit, compassion, so forth, must be built when they are young. Only by giving them good soft skill can they be more competitive when they grow up. Being educated in an environment where you become a conformist does not go hand in hand with creativity, does not go hand in hand with risk-taking propensity. And these are important attributes to be successful in the new normal. Being creative, being able to take calculated risks, and we are not training our kids today to be of this caliber. So things must change, but we must revamp our system to be more holistic and to be more diversified. There must be diversity in education as well. And last but not least, the 6 clusters of belief revolve around our support on environmental protection and sustainability. And out of these 3 which are given, we are going to be a good global citizen as a country. We want to play our part to actually minimize what we have been contributing to climate change in terms of carbon emission. Those are good things that we should support and play our part to do. We should go on to supporting green environment, recycling, new energy. All these are good for our future generation. But the one that we also need to pay a lot of attention on is managing our population growth. We should not throw a number and target to grow our population just based on a theoretical number or what the country can bear in terms of apartments and buildings to house a certain population base. We should build a population that take into account all aspects that is sustainable, because a growing population has got implication socially, economically, politically, and in all aspects of life. So bringing in new citizens, PR, must be a very, very deliberate process with very, very clear and stringent criteria. It is not an easy thing to do, but we can't increase population just because of expediency that we need more heads or we need more people to create a bigger market for the businesses or for the economy. Our long-term survival depends very much on how we manage the population growth. So with all this, we are moving ahead to create a soul for the party. This is the soul of the party that comprises of our vision for Singapore. What do we feel our missions are and our goals are, and the values that influence us when we operate, plus the set of beliefs that we would adhere to in terms of policy decision, in terms of communication strategy, in terms of training our people, so that we all operate with one voice and as one team. So into the future, as I said in the early part of the presentation, we are ready in terms of structure. We are ready in terms of people being appointed to the structure. We are in the process of building processes. We want to put a soul in place in our party so that all understand what the party stands for, how we're going to go forward. And I hope that you have a better idea now what PSP is all about. And we hope that you could all rally around this and be able to educate our own internal public as well as the external public what PSP is about, and be able to let Singapore see that this is a party with a difference. This is a party with a very clear vision and mission, and this is a party that they will grow to be the one who choose us as a party of choice. Thank you very much.